Hey, happy Wisdom Wednesday. Thank you so much for tuning in and thank you for choosing to spend some of your time with me. I know that the quality of this video is not that great, but I'm sitting here intentionally because I had some work done yesterday on my tooth and my face is a little puffy and a little green. So I'm actually sitting here to protect the small children from being afraid. You're welcome. So in a serious note, I'm going to be talking about today another communication tip. This is like a good one. This is a good one. This is a big one. A woman wrote to me and thanked me for the last one and then said she has a really hard time talking to her boss. He's really aggressive. He's really like rah rah. How can she talk to him without equally responding in that rah rah? And I get this. I do, because I pray for me. I'm still working on, sometimes I come right at my mouth and I say what's on my mind. And I recognize that, yes, it is good to not have a filter, but also I need a filter, right? Like, let's be real. And I need to be able to recognize that just because I can give it straight head, no chaser, doesn't mean that everybody can receive it that way. And if my message is not being heard, then what's the point? Okay, so two things. One, the first thing you want to do is you want to ask yourself, what is the intent? What is the intent of delivering this message, this feedback, having this conversation? If the intent is just so that you can take some jabs or because you're feeling some kind of way and you need them to know or whatever, you might want to reconsider. Like, spend some time praying about that, talk to God about that, find someone you trust and have that conversation out initially rather than just go to them and go in. So one, what is your intent? If your intent is to build up, to edify, and to help correct, and to teach people how to treat us, absolutely you need to go for it. Here's the technique. The technique is called the sanGwich technique. And yes, I say sanGwich, not sandwich, because that's just who I am. Deal with it. So I'm going to say sanGwich a lot. So here's the sanGwich technique. You want to think about an actual sandwich and how the bread is soft and warm and squishy, and then the bottom part is the bread and it's soft and warm and squishy, and the inside is the meat and the cheese and the pickles and the tomatoes and the blah, 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 and the messy stuff, right? So when you go to approach someone, to talk to them, to edify them, to build them up, or to correct them, or to let them know how you will or will not be treated, because you got standards, you want to make sure that you bring this technique with you. You're going to start off, the bread is the complimenting, the gratitude, things you appreciate about them. And you don't want this to be disingenuous. You don't want to just make stuff up. Like, legit, every person in the world, you could find something about them that you can say is nice or that you appreciate or that you're grateful for. And then that's going to be your kind of opener. And then you have your messy stuff, what the problem is. And then on the end, you're going to either reiterate what was happening at the beginning or some additional stuff. And then also how you're going to contribute to fixing whatever the situation is. And with the stuff in the middle, also, you want to be just aware of how you're presenting it. You don't want to say compliment, 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 but because then it nullifies everything you just said. So you want to go compliment, 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 and da-da-da, because those two things can exist at the same time. You can both equally appreciate someone and be annoyed by their behavior. Those two things can coexist. So, for instance, here's an example. In talking to my daughter, just for example, I would say to her, instead of saying, you need to sit still, you need to do your homework, you need to get it done so you're not here all day doing your homework, blah, 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 right? What I'm going to say to her instead, soft bread, top of the sandwich, is, I really appreciate how hard you work, and I know you do such a great job in school, and you're such a smart girl, and you get good grades, and I'm so proud of you. When you sit down to do your homework, I find that you're easily distracted, and I'm worried that it takes you too long to do your homework, and then you don't have downtime. You don't have time to chill. What can we do about that? How can I support you, and how can I help you stay on task? And is there anything that I can do for you, because you're smart and you deserve some downtime and you're amazing and I love you and you're a gift? And then by coupling that harder thing with the softer stuff, it makes it more digestible, you see? And then rather than like, oh, my mom just came down on me, she's like, okay, what can I do? And she'll think of some ideas, I'll think of some ideas, and then so this works not just with your kids, but in your relationships with your friends. It works at work. It works with customers. And it's a great way also to, again, teach people how to treat us, right? So if someone's disrespecting you, you can say, listen, I really appreciate you. I appreciate what you've done here, blah, blah, blah. And then be specific as to why. when you talk to me like this, it makes me feel like this, and this is why it's not okay with me. And then own it, right? Like, I'm not okay with this, and I recognize I deserve to be treated better than this, and you shouldn't speak to me this way. I really appreciate you. I really think that we can work this out. How can we fix this situation? Blah, 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 right? So that's my tip for you. Question 1 is, what is the intent in having the conversation to begin with? And then, not question 1. Yeah, question. And then the tip is sanGwich it. Soft and squishy, messy stuff in the middle, right? Because when you give it to someone like that, it makes it way more digestible, way easier. So I want you to try it. And then let me know what you think. There's also a scripture that says, let your speech always be gracious, seasoned with salt, so that you may know how to answer each person. Now, we don't know every single person's personality, but this works with just about everybody. So try it. Let me know what you think. If you have some tips or techniques for communication, please put them in the comments below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you know someone who could benefit from this, hit the share button. Absolutely share it with somebody. And if you haven't already, get over to my website and subscribe for my monthly newsletter. And yeah, that's it. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week and a fantastic weekend. When we are able to communicate more authentically with people, being able to express really how we feel and why, then we're able to start developing real, genuine relationships, even if they're just with acquaintances at work or whether they're with lifetime partners or whatever. So, and when we do that, super sparkly everything. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, like I said, and a great weekend. Bye-bye.